Hey, yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace. You gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted, and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience under pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely. Yeah, socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. About my chicken and its rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition they ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now, they all on me. Got counterfeits trying to play me, I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing you. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat, I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop. I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. You gon' see the...
Yeah, head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen him down bad, now they tryna hate. Same ones try to hit me for the raise. Got a mill, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex, but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all, I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it now, I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guys, oh man, Bitcoin got the drop to the downside. We're going to be covering the price action for you guys as we've dropped out of our key. I don't want to say key, but we dropped out of our local volume profile, guys, and we came down very close to our next major key level of support, being the POC of our macro range. Now, I'm not going to lie, I did feel a little bit crazy talking about that $97,417 POC on Friday night's live stream. I was kind of just giving the level, like, I don't want to sound like a bear here, guys, but I want you guys to have the key levels on the chart. But here we are. Money moves quick. I guess money moves quick too, but Bitcoin moves fast, guys, and we did get that drop down right into that key level. Now, we did front run it slightly. I want to talk about this, guys, because we are seeing some high time frame money flow start to creep to the downside here, guys. Are we going to see a bigger correction on Bitcoin? Is this the final shakeout before the massive move up into massive all-time highs? Or is the bull market over, and are we going to zero? We're going to be breaking it all down on today's live stream. Is my hat crooked? Hang on one second, guys. This drives me absolutely nuts. What is going on with this hat? Why is this hat so crooked? But anyway, guys, Shen, I forgot who said it in the chat, but they were singing along to the music. At the top of the class, on a roll. I thought it was at the top of the class on a roll. Honor roll. Shout out to whoever said that in chat. You just broke my brain. I've been singing it wrong this whole time. But hey, guys, I'm not a lyricist here. I'm just a trader. But anyway, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in to tonight's live stream. Smash that like button if you have not already. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys closer to some free crypto giveaways on Friday night's live stream. And we're going to have to do a double giveaway, guys, because we did skip the giveaways on Friday because I had to hop out of here quickly. So if we get 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream, we'll be giving away $150 in Solana. Shout out to Silver, said Frankie's happy. I'm happy. Lol. Shout out to Silver. But yeah, let's see who else we got here in chat. We got Golden Child in the chat. Let's see. Golden Child said, I listen to your streams every day at work, so all my employees are by default volume profile traders themselves. Shout out to Golden Child. Protect your employees, bro. You don't want them to learn too much about the volume profile, so you might be down a few employees. But shout out to Golden Child. Thank you for being here, bro. Long time no see. He was in the premium Discord or the premium live stream earlier today. Let's see. Shout out to Jerry. What is going on? Said wait till the Bitcoin reserves created, and it's for a totally separate federal Bitcoin traded via Treasury. Shout out to Jerry. Oh God, that would be crazy. I guess not impossible. I don't know. But anyway, let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Jesse in the chat, guys. He is our like police. So if he asks you to hit the like button, be nice and listen to his very kind orders. Shout out to Jesse. Thank you for being here. We got Cody in the chat. Let's see. Kevin in the chat, what is going on? Said, good morning from Luxembourg. Appreciate your analysis. Shout out to Kevin. Absolutely, bro. We got Dave Digital. Drop those DDs. If you have a Frankie Candles membership, drop those double D emojis in the chat for Dave Digital. And shout out our mods, guys. We got Dave Digital, Rob the Crypto Snob, Tyler Durden, Darren Does Things. Did I say Rob the Crypto Snob? You guys know who they are. Show them some love in the chat. And without further ado, guys, we got a lot to look at here on the charts as we move into this next week. And, guys, there's going to be a lot of volatility this week. We have FOMC, so things are probably going to get crazy. The stock market dump. Nvidia's going to zero. So we're going to break it all down on today's live stream. Let's see. Shout out to Henny says, what up, Frankie? We pumping or what? Well, let's go ahead and break that down. And Chemistry, bro. You guys know he's in here as always. Shout out to Chem, bro. But yeah, you guys know who the lives are. You guys know who the mods are. We long in the profile. Let's go. Shout out to HAC or Hack, as I like to call them. But yeah, speaking of volume profiles, guys, let's break down what happened to price over the weekend and earlier today. And let's talk about if the top is in forever. Let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. So, here we are, guys. Here we are. Oh, God, Bitcoin. What are we going to do with you, man? But let's go ahead and jump in here, guys. I'm going to cover kind of what we saw happen to lead us down to these lower prices and then talk about the possibility of getting back in here and heating up to higher prices or the potential possibility, of getting that bigger drop down to some potentially much lower prices because we do have some mixed signals on the charts here, but some of those higher time frames, guys, at least as of right now, are not looking too hot. So let's take a look here. So obviously, guys, we had our major scalp volume profile that we were looking at here. I don't know if I would call it major, but it was our main profile that we have been looking at for quite some time. We absolutely slaughtered the trades within this profile in the premium Discord. Last week was an amazing week of trading. And then last week, as we were getting the drop down, we got our deviation above that value area high, and then we got our return back into the range. And during that Friday live stream, we were, pretty much bing-bonging around near this POC, and we were talking about the possibility, guys, based off the volume profiles, you deviate above, get back into that range, go to the POC. Once you lose that POC and can't get back above, guys, the next likely place for price to go is going to be that value area low, the range. Now, granted, price did stick to this POC for quite some time. We know that POC acts as a magnet, so price does like to cling to it very often. But in this case, we wound up clinging to this for quite a while here. For basically the entire weekend, we kind of stuck to this POC, and then finally we got that drop to the downside here last night, and we got that bigger drop down into our next key level of support, which I'm going to bring up in just a minute, back into our lower profile, our major macro volume profile. When you take a look at the higher time frames, you guys know this was our larger profile that we have been looking at for quite some time, and we were talking about the possibility of this push up above that range being a slight, a potential deviation above that volume profile for a potential return back into our larger range, back into the POC, and potentially lose that POC back down to some of these lower levels, like the value area low sitting at about 90,500. Now, we do have some other local levels of support that we looked at on the way down to that value area low, but the grand context here of the market, if we go ahead and actually hide that scalp range just to clean things up, guys, this is a huge range, right? We deviated above here, got super, super excited. Everyone was like, oh my God, bull market's on. And then we got back into the range, back down to the POC, and then went down back towards that low, back to the value area high, deviation above, back into the range, back to the POC, back to the low. And then we caught that nice long position from the value area low once again up to the high, and then we had deviated above. Is this just a deviation above our macro value area high before we come back down and physically tap that POC, because I'm going to zoom in a minute. We actually did front run that level. And then is the door open to potentially get a full fill of this range, guys? I want to talk a little bit more about it because, like I said, some of those higher time frames are showing some bearish signals, such as money flow crossing over into the red or looking like it wants to cross over into the red. But as we deviated above this profile, guys, we did get 16-hour bearish divergences and many other things that we were looking at. We had the daily bearish divergence also printing on the wicks of our candles here. So that was giving us the idea that we could potentially get that push to the downside. And then obviously we had the context of this local volume profile, looking for the loss of this POC and then the full rotation of that profile. And you can just see here, guys, on the lower time frames, like literally price loses that POC. We stick around there again for like 2 days. This is absolutely brutal, just complete sideways price action. But eventually, we did wind up losing it and getting that drop down to the value area low. Tapped here for a little bit of a bounce to the upside, but we could not hold it, guys. And where was our next key level of support? Well, obviously, we're going to look down towards that macro value area high. We got the drop down in here. We even got some bullish divergences into that value area high before getting a bounce. But at the end of the day, we got back down in here, could not get back above, and we got that drop down towards that POC, which was our next key level of resistance. And if I pull this up, let me go ahead and hide this. Let me take a sip of this black coffee real quick. I have something in my throat, guys. Okay, there we go. But yeah, if we take a look at these levels that we were looking at last week, you guys know, whoops, that's not it. Where is it? Bada boom, bada bing, bada bing. There we go. Right, so you guys know we had this key level down here with the point of control of the range in confluence with our golden pocket retracement. Now, this is a macro golden pocket, so it is going to be a key level. And I will say this, right now, like currently, guys, Bitcoin is kind of between our value area high and our value area low here. Shout out to the premium Discord. We had a pretty exciting rise to the upside here during the live stream. And I will say this, guys, there is definitely a correlation between me going to make coffee and walking away from the charts and having price move. I had to trick Bitcoin and pretend that I was off camera going to get some coffee. And finally, we got the rip up to our next major target, which was sitting here at the value area low of the previous range. But, guys, we got that drop in. We couldn't hold that value area high. Very simply put, we get stuck under this value area high. We look for that drop down towards the POC. Now, like I said, we did front run this level very, very slightly. Let me go ahead and zoom out a bit. Yeah, we did front run that level very slightly here, as you can see. So this is still going to be a key level of support. If we get accepted back into this range and get the bigger drop to the downside, this is still going to be a major, major level of support, and it is still sitting between 97,438 and 96,362. And again, guys, I'm not going to lie. Like, on Friday, when I brought up these levels, you know, we were still pretty far away, right? We were all the way up here at 104.8, sitting at that POC saying, like, you know, hey, guys, I don't, you know, we have these local levels of support. We have the local value area low, which is likely going to be key support, but I just want you guys to have these levels because if something crazy happens and we get a quick drop to the downside, this is going to be the zone to be looking at. And where do we bounce from? Just a few bucks above that POC. Now, oftentimes, guys, we do like to come down and physically tap these levels. So I will say this is still a key level of support. We never tap the golden pocket. We never technically tap the POC. But as of right now, guys, very, very clear levels of support and resistance, right? If we do wind up coming back up here, our key level of resistance is going to be the value area low of this local range, which is also confluent with some Fibonacci retracements. Because here's the thing, guys. The question is, are we just going to yeet out of here? And to be quite honest with you, if we're going to get a big rip to the upside from here, and we're just going to get into this range, fill it in full, and then get the bigger breakout to higher prices, potentially looking for new all-time highs, I'll be honest, Market Cypher B on the medium to higher time frames is not necessarily looking for that to be the case. And what I mean by that is our money flow, right? Even if I hide the TA here, you guys can see our money flow on Market Cypher B has just crossed over into the red on the 4 hour. Now, generally, unless we're going to get some kind of fake out here where we come into the red and then yeet right back into the green, unless we get some kind of fake out like this is generally a bearish signal, right? Now, again, you know, anything can happen. We've seen this happen. You know, this happens, you know, I wouldn't say often, but it's always a possibility that you are going to get that fake out into the red before getting another push into the green for a bigger move to the upside. But from a binary perspective here, when we look at the charts here and we see this 4 hour money flow crossover into the red, this does make us anticipate that price is likely to continue that downtrend. And I'm going to talk about those key levels of resistance that we might be likely to put those lower highs in before putting in another lower low. And if that were the case, I am going to be expecting something like this, right? So again, 4 hour money flow crossover into the red. Let me cover this real quick. 4 hour money flow crossover into the red. And if we take a look at our daily time frame here, guys, we knew that we had that daily bearish divergence with our higher highs on price, lower highs on our momentum waves, which did open the door for that bigger drop down. We did indeed wind up getting that. And this money flow is still still generally trending to the downside. Now, I know that we got a little pop up here, we got a little pop up here, but as I always say, guys, you want to be very careful with that because it's all about the direction of the money flow. We could come up locally, but sometimes coming up locally just means you're going to put in a lower high and continue that trend to the downside. And from a binary perspective, black or white, bullish or bearish, this is technically not the best sign for a massive continuation to the upside. The only thing, if we're going to look for a big continuation up, we have to just pray that this money flow is just going to fake out and come back up into a bigger green wave, which typically in bull markets is not impossible, right? We've seen this happen this bull market. We've seen it happen tons of times in the previous bull markets. You can see like almost every time you come into, or let me see where I am. Where am I? That was the scene. That was March 2020 dump, obviously, but right here, right, you fake into the red, back into the green, fake into the red, back into the green, and you essentially just continue your uptrend. Even here, you try to cross over into the red, back into the green, massive continuation to the upside, and then eventually you wind up getting your big money flow wave in the red when you get that first top to come here in 2021 before coming back into the green, and then eventually we wound up spending a bunch of time in the red here for the bear market, right? So in a bull market, it's not possible to get that fake out, but this is not something that we can just necessarily this is not something we can necessarily like just bank on, right? We have to understand that this is technically trending to the downside. It is a bearish signal. Now, if we take a look at the 2-day, we have our 2-day red dot printing as well as our bearish divergence, right? So this is still technically here, right? We're now getting that red dot to print. So you have your higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves, giving you that 2-day bearish divergence, which could easily continue this move to the downside, creep up to the 3-day. You got it on the 3-day as well now. This is something we've been looking at for quite some time on the channel. 3-day red dot now printing, so we do have that bearish divergence. Now, again, it is to the wicks of our candles. I do like to see the divergences on the bodies of the candles. I don't ignore the wick divergences, but I do just put a little bit more emphasis on the ones that are to the candle bodies. This is still a technical divergence, which could give us that fuel to the downside. So between all these divergences, as well as just the red dots in general on these higher time frames, guys, we could see some low time frame turbulence, maybe come back up a little bit. Even your 4-day VWAP is coming down as well. And then with that money flow on the daily coming down with our 4-hour money flow in the red here, I am going to be careful here with these pushes to the upside, looking for potential lackluster retracements to the upside to put in lower highs and continue back down to lower prices. So, question is, if we get the bounce here, or if we get the continued bounce, I should say, where are we going to be looking for those rejections? Well, very simply put, guys, I'm going to pull up that previous, I'm going to pull up that previous range that we have up here, right? We have our macro range. We came to that POC. We're now trying to bounce back out of this, right? So your key level of resistance, number one, value area low. We've already come up and rejected this 2 times, right? We got the bounce up, rejection back to the downside, bounce back up. We got a little bit of a pullback, but this is your next key level of resistance. Now you have your value area low, the range. Now, not only is this going to be key resistance, guys, but this could potentially be the doorway to maybe get out of here, see some of that money flow fake out, and get the push up. But again, with the high time frame red dots, we got to see all that stuff fake out, right? So again, there's a lot of signals here potentially pointing towards a continuation to the downside. It doesn't guarantee it, but it is oftentimes, it does play out more often than it doesn't, right? So if we take a look here, if we just pull our Fibonacci retracement, you can see we do have a little bit of a golden pocket confluence here on that value area low. This range, or this zone, does come in between about 102,781 and 102,250. So, this would be the first kind of local level to get above. If we don't... Because the idea here, guys, is we're looking for lower highs and continuations down, right? And where are those lower highs likely to come in at? Well, they're probably going to come in between that golden pocket and that 786 retracement. So if we get above that golden pocket, that's where our best bet of coming up into that 786 at 103,744. And then once we get above that, we could potentially wiggle our way back up towards that PLC where we spent 2 days sitting at, right? And then at that point, I'm just looking at this as a volume profile, right? Looking for that full fill of the range up to the high. But key levels of resistance, golden pocket value area low, and then you have your 786 retracement sitting at 103,744. Technically, that's really the doorway to open up the opportunity to fill that range in full, because we don't know if we're going to put in lower highs here, guys. We don't know if it's going to come in at the golden pocket, and we don't know if it's going to come in at the 786. But these are the 2 major levels that I will be watching for lower highs and continuations down. So that's kind of what I'm looking at as we push to the upside. And then again, you'll have that beautiful context, right? If it does wind up getting above here, those exact levels that you're looking to get above, and then that POC and value area high would be the next highest probability areas to look at. And if we pull, I'm going to pull another retracement here from the actual high, local swing high to the, golden pocket sitting there. POC also, I'll be honest, guys, the value area low, the POC, and the value area high are going to kind of all be key levels to look at, right? Because, again, we don't know if we're going to reject the local levels or we're going to reject the full Fibonacci retracement. So it is really hard. There is a lot of levels of resistance up in this range. So, real zone number one, value area low golden pocket, 102.250 to 102.781, right? Between the golden pocket value area low. Second level, 786, and then your larger golden pocket also comes in confluence there, sitting between about 103.5 and 103.8 almost. So you do have a lot of work to do if you could come back up into this range, but at the end of the day, guys, this is really your next major key level of resistance. If we get a drop back to the downside, I will say 100,800 is your major key level of support. If you can't hold above this $100,800 level, which is the value area high of that previous range, I will be looking, and actually let me get rid of this because this is an old 786. If you can't hold above that value area high, you get accepted back in. Very simply put, just like back here, right? You tried to hold it, but couldn't. Where'd you go? Right to the POC. So if you get stuck under this value area high, I would once again be looking down towards that POC golden pocket, where I will be looking for long positions in the premium Discord if we can get those confirmations. But right now, it's kind of just a waiting game, waiting to see if we can get back up into this range or if we can get stuck under that value area high. And again, those medium to higher time frames, guys, would be making me look at this as a potential lackluster retracement to the upside before putting in lower highs and continuing down. Short term, though, right? Like, that's kind of medium term. Even if we did come up into some of these levels, right? Could be bullish, right? But then we put in that lower high and continue down. So short term, we could continue to push up here, especially because we have some of our lower time frame money flow, 15-minute in the green here, 30-minute money flow attempting to work its way back up into the green here, 24-minute as well, trying to work its way back up towards this zero line. If we can get these 30-minute and 24-minute money flow crossovers into the green, the signal to watch is going to be this green dot on the 8-hour, guys. We have the VWAP coming up, potential green dot incoming here on the 8-hour, and if we can get that green dot to print at the same time as this 30-minute and 24-minute money flow, it would make it a high probability, in my opinion, to at least get some kind of continuation to the upside here in the context of that 30-minute money flow, right? You come back here to another significant money flow crossover into the green here. You can see, right, we creep up out of this value area high, flip that value area high to support, money flow crosses over into the green on the 24-minute. Very similar on the 30-minute. We didn't really come into the red, but we just kind of started coming back up here with the money flow. And what happens? We continue that trend to the upside. You get that short-term noise, right? Little pullback, but that overall trend does continue back to the upside. So that's what I'm going to be looking for a potential continuation up. I'm watching that 30-minute, that 24-minute money flow, and that 8-hour green dot for that beautiful Market Cypher B 116 strategy. Shout out to Jesse, said Frankie missed the super chat. Oh, God. Hang on one sec, guys. Let me come on in here real quick. Shout out to Bubba Candles. Yo, shout out to Bubba Candles. Thank you for that super chat. Said, can the POC of the last range from 106 to 102 be a lower high to continue lower to 100 or 102.8 with 77 million in liquidations? Could maybe cause an SFP. Shout out to Bubble Candles. That is a good question. So let me see here. Can the POC of the last range at 100,600, which I assume, let me see what happened to my range here? Why do these always get deleted, man? Let me go ahead and re-pull this, right? So yeah, this is sitting at about 105,000, at least the way I have it pulled here. So I think that's probably the POC that you're looking at. 106K is closer to the value area high for me. But either way, yes, this is, again, right, this is not just a POC. This is also your 786 Fibonacci retracement when pulled from the high to the low here. So that is a potential area, right? Like level number one, golden pocket value area low. Level number two is that 786. Once you get above that 786, I wish I could say that's the doorway to higher prices to yeet out of here, but it's not, right? Because you have that bigger 786 confluent with the POC. So again, you do have a lot of resistance above here to get a big move up, but it doesn't mean that we can't creep up locally, right? Get above that 786. POC would definitely be an area to potentially put in that lower high and continue to the downside. So 100%. Shout out to Bubba Candles. Absolutely, bro. And then they say 102.8 with 77 million in liquidations could cause an SFP. So yeah, so 102. Let me take a look at that real quick, right? So 102.8. Where are we? So yeah, 102.8. Let's see, yeah. So 102.8. The only reason, even if we do have liquidity up there, I would probably be looking for the SFP of this wick here, right? Which actually does come closer to about 103,236, right? So we could actually take a look. Maybe we can, take a look at the liquidation heat maps here and see if we could find that liquidity sitting in the market. But yeah, it is nice to know where the liquidity sits. But really what I like to see, and this is oftentimes the case, is see that liquidity sitting above a wick high, right? So if I see a lot of liquidity sitting above 103,238, I know that, hey, not only do we have liquidity sitting above there, right? And again, I'm going to confirm this to see if we can actually get some confirmation that, what is it, 103.2. So I will try to snipe out some of that liquidity here. But if you do have that liquidity sitting in the market, right, what I like to see is I like to see it sitting above a wick, because that gives us a beautiful setup where we could potentially look for that push above that level, liquidate all those short positions into a key level of resistance, which we do have above here. So if you are, wherever you're looking for your liquidity, if that liquidity is sitting above this wick, that could be an opportunity to look for a swing failure pattern into a key level of resistance, in which case, not only would you have the SFP confirmation with the wick above that level and closure of the candle below, but you would also have the be pushing into that key level of resistance where we know there is a high likelihood of a potential lower high coming, or we know that if we're going to put that lower high in, that is going to be the area where there'd be a high probability of that happening, right? Like if we're looking for lower highs, this could be a big area for it to happen. So if you get that SFP, you could totally take a shot at that short position for another drop to the downside, but you'd have to wait to see what happens when you come up there. Let me go ahead and move this brush tool. Get the heck out of here. Thanks, G. Shout out to Bubba Candles. No problemo, bro. Thank you for the extra super chat. No problemo, dude. That's why I'm here. Here to answer questions and teach you guys what we look for on the charts for these trades. Let's see. Al Jr. said, Frankie broke it down. I saw. How much wood? How much wood would woodchuck chuck? If a woodchuck could chuck wood. Chop wood. Shout out to Al Jr. But let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Up only confirmed. Shout out to Jesse. Yes, guys, we are pumping infinitely to $1 bazillion. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. So yeah, looking at the heat maps here, guys, I'm to be quite honest. Yeah, I'm trying to break down the time frames here real quick. Let me refresh this real quick. Yeah, to be honest with you guys, we did have liquidity sitting above this wick. Earlier today in the premium live stream, we were looking at the liquidity above this wick, and we actually did wind up getting the SFP of that wick here for a quick drop back down towards this value area high, which is exactly what we were looking for. But we were able to see that liquidity sitting in the market, which we can't necessarily see. I don't really see it sitting above. Yeah, I don't really see it sitting above. Yeah, I think he's at 102.3. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, we definitely have liquidity up there, but I don't really see anything super yeah, I don't really see anything super significant at 103,000. We have a little bit sitting up there, but nothing super significant. But anytime you see that liquidity in the market, it for sure opens up the opportunity to get a swing failure pattern. You're 100% right, Bubba. Buddha. Bubba. Buddha Candles. Shout out to Buddha Candles. Let's see. Greetings from Greece, man. We love you. Hey, shout out to Lipos. Lipos. Shout out to you, bro. I don't know how I say your name. I apologize for that. But Dave Digital says, what a coincidence. Frankie Candles loves Greece, too. I do love Greece. I used to, I almost used to fit the perfect description of a Guido, guys. I still do sometimes gel out the hair, and it does, it's pretty hilarious. But yeah, that is, for the most part, guys, these are the key levels of resistance that I'm looking at. And for me to look for an SFP, we were already looking for that level here to get swept. We got it swept. We got the drop to the downside. And yeah, like for that, we did have the visual liquidity on the maps. I don't see it here on high block, at least anything significant, but that could potentially change as we creep up there. But typically that is set locked in. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens. But in general here, guys, I'm going to be very, very careful for that continuation down based off the higher time frames with the money flow coming out, with the bearish divergences on the higher time frame, with the red dots on the higher time frames, definitely, I mean, I will say this daily candle is pretty nice, right? Big wick to the downside, ate it back up. It does look like a bullish candle in my opinion, but again, you know, it does not negate the money flow. It does not negate the 2-day red dot, the 3-day red dot. So we just got to be careful here, but that's why we have these key levels to the downside. We get that continuation down with all those signals printing. It's the same thing as last week, guys. We look to get stuck under that value area high, drop back down towards that POC. If we lose that, obviously we can look for that bigger drop down towards the 786 retracement level at 93,579. We also have a weekly level confluent with that as well. Once you start losing the 786, very likely we come down to this zone here at the value area low. Sitting closer to about 90,500. So it's simple game of volume profiles here, guys. If we can't get back above these, I mean, even if we get back into this range, there's so many levels we can reject. So I will be watching this very closely as we push into these levels for potential short confirmations. But those are really the key levels that I'm watching on the way up, with a bias that we could potentially get that bigger drop to the downside based off those higher time frame signals. Now, if I pull up a higher time frame here, guys, if we pull all the way from the all-time high here all the way to the low, you could see kind of that. This is very similar to what we were looking at last week. The end-all, be-all level to get above in order to call for all-time highs, in my opinion, is going to be the 786 sitting at 107,300, right? It has moved slightly. It was at about 107.7 last week. Now it sits at about 107,260. So let's assume we get the bigger drop up. We don't reject any of the local fibs, and we do get that big move into our range, back up to the POC, back up to the high. That is really that key level. If you want all-time highs for Bitcoin and a big rip to the upside, that is the key level to break, right? And we're pretty decently far away from that at this point at 107.3. But that is really, you can see we have confluence with our golden pocket here on that POC, which kind of solidifies or reinforces the idea of potentially using that POC as a key level to put a lower high in at. It is our full golden pocket retracement. So totally an opportunity to put in a lower high here. And if we get above it, I will be looking at that 786 as our last level. Once you flip that, that's where we can yeet up into those higher prices, sitting between about, again, $112,000 and $113,000, the same upper targets we've been looking at for quite some time. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. We are simply just in between these two profiles now. We dropped down into the low, back into the lower range. We got back out, we got back in, we got back out. So we're just trying to see where we get accepted in here. Are we going to get accepted here for the bigger move up towards 105, 112? Or are we going to get accepted lower here back towards about 97.4? We'll have to see what happens. Money flow, at least in the long term, is calling for an eventual drop back down. But short term, again, looking at the lower time frame money flow, that 30-minute money flow crosses into the green with the 8-hour green dot. That's your best bet to come up here and test some of these other levels of resistance. So if you're not out there scalping the local fib levels, these are the levels to be having on your chart. Golden pocket POC sitting between 104,877 and 105,586, and then your 786, obviously your value area high. This is entire zone here, guys, obviously, but I'm going to separate this into your golden pocket POC, and then your value area high sits at 106,348, and then that 786 is your key level. This is your doorway to get out of here at 107,300, right? So those are the key levels I'm looking at. Bada boom, bada bing. Should I buy more SOL now or wait? Shout out to Joe. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you when to buy or sell SOL, but I can show you kind of what I think about the chart and where I think it's going in the future, and then you can do your own analysis and make your own financial decisions. But yeah, I will take a look at Solana here, guys. Shout out to Great White said, can I ask you bullish or bearish? You sure can, but I am going to need a little bit more information. Bullish and bearish over what time frame? If you let me know a little more information, it's a bit of a loaded question, right? Because if you ask me here, I could be bullish on the 1 minute for a small move up, right? But I could be bearish long term. For example, I did take a scalp short earlier today. Where was it, right? I took a scalp short here, and this is a perfect example of kind of like people always ask me, bullish or bearish, right? Well, I'm bullish on Bitcoin for the next 10 years, right? So obviously I know you're not asking that, but it really does. The context of the question absolutely 100% matters, because I could be bearish on the 15-minute looking for a move down, but looking for that to end in a higher low, and I'll explain to you the importance of that, right? So earlier today, I did look for a drop below this value area high, and I did take this trade on the bearish retest of that value area high, right? We broke down, we bearishly retested. At that point, I was looking for a drop down into our key local Fibonacci levels, which were sitting, where is it? Did I delete it? Here we go, right? So I was looking for a drop, and maybe I'll play that video at the end of the live stream again, like I did last week, but, or maybe we'll just upload it as a YouTube short, but looked for a drop into this range for a move down into our golden pocket 786. And in that video, I was like, all right, I'm taking a short on Bitcoin here, looking to target about $100,000 all the way down to about $99,500, where we had this golden pocket 786 retracement. I was looking for that drop down into the zone. We indeed did get it. But in the beginning of that video, I said I'm going short on Bitcoin. Now, although my bias is to continue up, based off other factors that I saw on the chart, I was bearish for that short to play out, but I closed that position down here in anticipation of a higher low to come in and a continuation to the upside, right? So in that case, I was bearish for the short, right? But at the end of the day, I was expecting to put in a higher low and continue back to the upside. So I was bullish for this move, but just bearish for that continuation down. So it's a little bit of a loaded question, bullish or bearish. I really need to know like the exact context that you're looking for, and I can answer it a little bit more accurately. Shout out to DB, said, hey, Frankie, I'm new here. Can you explain the premium a bit? Shout out to DB. So, yeah, the premium Discord is where I give my personal trade setups. We do live streams twice a week, every Monday and Friday for about, it's usually supposed to be, they're supposed to be an hour. They're usually like 2 hours. It is not a signals group. I will not go in there and tell you, buy now, sell now, right? That doesn't work because by the time I enter the trade, and if I were to do that, right, enter the trade and then tell everybody to buy, you're going to get a later entry than me. And then if I do it the other way, I can tell everybody to get into it, and then I have a late entry. So what I do is I give my personal trade setups, right? So I'm going to try not to leak anything too aggressive here. But if I come in down here, right, you can see the last short that we took last week. Again, last week was an absolutely killer week in the Discord here. We were looking for a short position as price crept up into this value area high where we knew we had key levels of resistance. We had a value area high, a golden pocket of 786 with liquidity sitting above, giving us the opportunity to look for one of those swing failure levels. Guys, drop a candle in the chat if you guys want me to make a new SFP tutorial, because I'm thinking about maybe making an updated one to break it down very simply how I trade these SFPs. Let me know in the chat if you guys want to see that. But we look for price to come into this level, right? And I put these setups before price gets into that zone, right? So I say, hey, if price comes up here and I see these entry confirmations for this exact trade, it was a bearish divergence with a swing failure pattern of this wick here, then I will be looking to take a short. If we get that to play out, I will be looking to bring it down to the value area high. Once we get stuck into the value area high, look to go to the POC and then look to fill that down to the value area low, right? So it's, you get the setups, you get what I'm looking for, and I like to have you ready for price for price to get to that level before we get there, right? So you can have that set up on your chart. You can be ready to look for the confirmations. So it's not a signals group, but I give you these personal trade setups. You basically trade alongside me, and then obviously more often than not, it does play out. Obviously, we don't win every single trade, but I really focus on education. I walk you through exactly what I'm looking at for the setup. I explain to you, oh, we have liquidity sitting above the highs, and then I walk you through every step of the way, right? Hey, we got to drop down to the value area high. I'm going to lock in some profits right here for a potential continuation down to the POC golden pocket 786, and then eventually price does wind up moving down, right? We get to that golden pocket 786 POC. Hey guys, if we get stuck under this POC, I've already taken profits off the trade. My stop loss is at break even for a guaranteed winning trade. Let's see if we can get that to drop down towards the value area low, and then eventually we start getting the drop. No, we're still at the POC there. Let's see. And then eventually we start losing that POC. We get the drop down to the low. Sometimes we even got to put some magnet emojis on the chart to suck price down towards that value area low. But then eventually it does wind up coming down and hitting that value area low for a full take profit, and then also gave us bullish confirmations for another long trade back up to the high of the range. So it is not a signals group, but I do give you the personal setups with the confirmations, and I walk you through the trades live. Not live, but like as price action develops, I give little updates on what I'm looking for, how I'm handling the trade. And then again, those live streams are super educational. We even have an occasional sauce section in here where I drop some infographics and stuff on the strategies that we use. So it's if you already understand how to do TA, if you've been on this channel for a little while, you've been watching the YouTube videos, and you just want to take it to the next level and like see how we actually trade, come on in here. It's a blast, and people seem to love it. So shout out to anybody in the kitchen. Let's see. Shout out to Chemistry Bro, said win rate over 90%. Haven't checked for a while, but it's a very high win rate. Yeah, shout out to Chemistry Bro. I appreciate you, bro. We should start tracking those trades. Actually, on the chart here, if you want to take a look at some of the trades, and again, I'm not going to sit up here and pretend that we win every single trade. That's impossible. Nobody can do that, right? But I will just show you, if I pull up, I track all our trades that we take on the chart here with our position tools. So you get to see some of the recent trade, or not recent, I've been tracking these for a while, right? So these are some of the trades. Obviously, a lot of them are heavy on the volume profile, so you'll see a lot of trades from the high to the low, from the high to the low, etc. But here's an example, just so you guys don't think I'm just blowing some candle smoke up your butts here, right? Like here was a trade, played out a little bit, right? But then wound up getting stopped out. I mean, plenty of room to get a first take profit here. But they don't all win, but we have pretty high win rate, if I have to say so myself. But yeah, there's some of the trades that we've been taking. I've been tracking this for a while here. Been trying to be pretty on top of putting these all in this folder so we can save it and look back on years of trading. But that's how we do it. If you want a free trial, guys, an infinite free trial of the premium Discord, go to the free Discord and get into the dining room. It's if you use any of our affiliate links for any of our exchanges, you will get access to the dining room, and we post a weekly, sometimes more than one time a week, you will get a post from the premium Discord. I do this every single day in the Discord, obviously, other than the weekends. Sometimes we post on the weekends too. But if you get into the dining room here, go to unlock access, and you can figure out it. Just read this. It's very simple. You just have to sign up with one of our affiliate links. If you already signed up for an exchange on our affiliate link, you'll get free access to this. You just got to click these buttons. Come read through this to get access. But basically, you just got to click this, put in your user ID, and then eventually you will get access. Just make sure you read these instructions. But again, we do put a lot of these setups do go in this, not a lot of them, but once a week. Sometimes it's just TA. A lot of times it is a trade setup, and more often than not, as long as that price comes up to those key levels, they are pretty good here. So yeah, come on in here, and this is free. Again, if you have our affiliate links, if you're signed up on our affiliate links, you'll never get kicked out of here. It's infinitely free trial here. But again, you only get one a week, right? In the Discord, we do it every single day. And you get walked through. I'm super active in that Discord. So, but anyway, that's enough of that, guys. Let's go ahead and jump on into the altcoins. Let's see if we somehow magically pump back up. What do you think it will go to first? Shout out to RoboBalls. Shout out to you, bro. Do you mean like all-time highs? My next major targets for all-time highs would be between 112 and 113K. If that's your answer, that should be answered. But let me know if you were looking for something else. Let's see, bada boom. Hang on, let me check on these super chats, guys. Yo, super chats coming in. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Shout out to Mike Dutch. Said mad love to the CandleMafia. Yo, thank you so much. Shout out to Mike Dutch. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you so much. Shout out Mike Dutch in the chat and gifting 5 Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Shout out to Mike Dutch. Show Mike some love in the chat, baby. Let's go. Shout out to Mike Dutch. Yo, unbelievable, man. Mike showing more love. Mike always showing love out here, bro. I appreciate you so much, Mike. Thank you. Blockchain Domain said, when I grow up, I want to be Mark Dutch, not to be confused with Mike Dutch. Are they the same person, guys? Oh, my God. Shout out to Blockchain Domain. And we got Rana with a super chat. Says, value area low 103 of the previous range. If accepted, higher, isn't it? Value area low at 103K. Bada boom. Yeah, okay, so I assume you're talking about this value area. Technically, yes, based off the laws of the volume profile, as you guys know, you get above that value area low. You're looking for the move into the POC and the move into the value area high. That's obviously what you would look for. However, based off the context here with money flow coming out and those key Fibonacci levels above us, right, we don't know if we're actually going to get that full fill, right? Because if that money flow is coming out, we have to be careful of potential pushes to the upside, right? So if we get above that value area low, sure, you would be looking for more upside, but you have to be aware of those Fibonacci levels. And if you missed it, just scrub back to the beginning of the stream. I show you all the levels. But, you do have to, this is the major level. If we get back up in here, you have to be careful of that potential lower high and continuation back to the downside. So that's the only thing, right? I'm just being a little bit careful. But yeah, if you get above that value area low at 102, 282, that could potentially give you open door to push up a little bit higher. But there is a lot of resistance above. Shout out to Mike Dutch said, yo, thank you for the super chat. Another $50 super chat, bro. Thank you so much. He says, I can neither confirm nor deny that Mark and I are the same person. Suspicious, Mike. But for real, bro, thank you so much for those super chats. And thank you, Blockchain Domain. I appreciate you guys so much. And Rana, you guys are the best. And shout out to Buddha Candles as well. You guys are awesome. And shout out to anybody who just got a membership. If you have a Frankie Candles membership, drop those emojis. I don't know. Drop purple candles in the chat if you got a membership. Let's get it. But let's continue on. Bada boom, bada bing. So we are going to take a look at some of these altcoins as well, guys. We'll keep an eye here on Bitcoin as price action develops, and we'll see if we can get back up into that value area. Let me see here. Let's see. Bada boom. Yeah, we'll keep an eye here on Bitcoin. We will check. Yo, shout out to the Blockchain Domain says, Mike Dutch. Golden, is that you? Shout out to Golden. Where's Golden at? Is Golden in here today? Let's see. Bada boom. Let's see. Okay. Oh, shout out to Zach. Said you didn't drop that that live trade video last stream. I don't recall seeing it. I was looking forward to it. Shout out to Zach. I will show you the one from today. I did drop it at the end of the stream. We ended the stream. I did a fake out. I came back on and showed it. But maybe I'll show the other one at the end of the stream. You could take a look at it. It's pretty funny. It's actually a very similar situation as the first one I showed, as I went to get coffee and the trade started playing out. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on, guys. If you want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Rob the Crypto Snob will let us know what we're looking at. He'll count up the votes and let us know. And I will start here off on Ethereum. Yeah, shout out to RoboBall said, can you show us a little bit about the Frankie Candles Essentials indicator? Yes, when we go into the altcoins, I'll just use the Frankie Candles Essentials instead of the regular profile. And look at that, our golden pocket value area low that we were looking at on the premium indeed was that key level of resistance before the next drop to the downside. Not too bad. But let's take a look here. I'm going to take this off the chart. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Now, as you guys know, the key levels on Ethereum do remain the same. They do remain the same, guys. With our key zone of support, you guys know that we were looking at this local profile as kind of the same thing as our local profile for Bitcoin, right? We came to the low, back to the high, back, low, high, right? We respected this range for quite some time, right? But we talked about if we lose this range, that next key level of support, very simply, was going to be this 786 retracement. Let me see if I can get up in here in these settings. Let me just get where that golden pocket was, right? So we held that golden pocket, and once we lose that range, lose the golden pocket, we look for that move down to the 786, which was sitting here at about $3,051 in confluence, somewhat in confluence with that value area low, 29.97. We didn't get down to the value area low, but we are technically right now holding that 786. But the overall levels, guys, for Ethereum remain exactly the same. Key zone of support, 100%. And again, I did feel kind of crazy, just like on Bitcoin, looking towards that 97, was it 97.4? Looking towards that 97.4 POC here. Yeah, 97, let me see here. What was it? Yeah, about 97.4 was that major POC. I felt kind of crazy looking at that on the live stream on Friday, but I have to bring these levels up in case we get those dumps to the downside, which we did wind up happening. So I'm happy I brought up these levels. But once we lose this range, guys, we're looking to move into that 786 value area low, and this is still the major key level, right? If we lose this value area low, the last level of defense that we have before getting a drop down to $2,600 to $2,700 is going to be this high volume node we have sitting here, the danger zone at $2,888. So, again, we went from the high, below the POC, we went to the low, right? Then we got the bounce from the low, went into the POC, bing-bonged around here, and we did just wind up getting another drop back down here. Now, we didn't hit the value area low just yet. Technically, based off the volume profile, the idea is that you go from the low to the POC, and then it's a journey. It's a confusing, scary journey back up above that POC into the value area high. But again, as of right now, with the way money flow looks, especially on Ethereum, this is just like Bitcoin, right? But this is a little bit more aggressive. Money flow coming to the downside here, looking for a crossover into the red. Not the best look, right? If we get that crossover into the red, you're going to anticipate potential continuation of that trend to the downside. And then once you lose $2,888, probably going to be a pretty quick drop down to the major 786, all the way down to the POC, really sitting between about $2,733 and about $2,600, right? So very simply put, if we don't get the hard bounce here from the 786 back to the POC, back up to the high, we lose this range, lose this 2888 level, boom. I'm going to be looking down here for Ethereum. Now, hopefully we don't have to see that happen, guys, but this money flow does not look great, if I'm being quite honest with you. It doesn't guarantee the dump, but this is, we have to use all these factors and keep them in mind when we're doing our analysis to try to figure out the highest probability outcome. Now, remember, guys, we have FOMC this week, so things are probably going to get kind of crazy. So be careful out there and just understand that I said this to the premium Discord earlier today. It's not necessarily that I'm taking the TA with a grain of salt, but just understand that, the volatility is probably going to be crazy, right? So, if we do get crazy volatility and we get, oh my God, we're dumping, right? And then we just get that big wick and then a move back up, just understand, you have to decisively lose this level. So if we get it during FOMC, just be careful with these levels because the volatility is obviously going to be insane. If we get volatility, it's going to be crazy, right? Sometimes we have the FOMCs and they don't do anything. Usually the ones I go live for, we don't do anything. But let's see. ETH losing momentum. Shout out to Nirvana. Oh God. Yeah, yo, shout out to Bring the Chaos. Of course, Bring the Chaos would say this. Just say it. The markets are cooked. Guys, it's going to zero. I will say this. Let's take a look at this. I'll pull it up on Heikkanashi candles, so we don't have to deal with the gaps and stuff. But yeah, SPY getting a massive drop to the downside today, or got a massive drop to the downside today. Obviously, NVIDIA is cooked, guys. NVIDIA is for sure cooked. I don't know if it's cooked forever, but yikes, that was a big candle to the downside. But I'll be honest, guys. If NVIDIA is like, this thing has been unstoppable, right? So, we've seen pullbacks like this before, but obviously the what is it? DeepSeek? Is it DeepSeek AI? Is that what it's called? Obviously, got that NVIDIA dump off that. So, Bitcoin pretty much following suit there on the stock market with that dump earlier today. So we'll see what happens here. But listen, if I were to say the markets were cooked, that would be indicating that the bull market is over. Now, as I always say, guys, anything is possible in these markets. I'll be the first person to tell you that. You can do all the TA you want, and our TA slaps like literally most of the time. I don't want to give a percentage because I don't have a legitimate number. But it plays out way more than it doesn't. But to be quite honest with you, like, could the top be at 109, right? We said this at 108K, right? When everyone was like super scared on the drop to the downside. They're like, oh my God, everything's wrecked. We're going to zero. And I said, no, I don't think so, right? I don't think so. Just based off the 4-year cycle. Now, do I think that Bitcoin's going to go to 500K this cycle? Probably not, right? Like, I'm not going to fall into that hopium. I'm going to always give you guys hard information on the charts. I'm never going to misguide you just for hopium. But to be honest, like, nothing has happened on the chart right now to call for a bear market, right? Again, we have the daily bear div, we have the 2-day bear div, the 3-day bear div. Could that give us a pullback? Yes. Does it mean the bear market is in? No, right? Like, we've just got a little pullback here. Obviously, the altcoins are getting absolutely hammered, which we're going to get into a little bit more. But yeah, like, I mean, there's nothing really to call the top here from a chart perspective, right? So we'll see what happens, right? In hindsight, maybe this is the top. Maybe this is the top, right? We go down to zero. But again, we do have a lot of room to come down here where no significant market structure is broken. Altcoins are definitely feeling a little bit more pain. So let's continue on with those. Solana, guys, taking a look at Solana. This is another thing that I was even saying on the live stream. Like, guys, I feel kind of crazy looking at these lower levels. I know people don't want to hear this, but I got to give you the levels, right? I want you to have these on the chart so you're not panicking when you get the drops to the downside. We were clinging up here to this value area high, and, got back above, held it as support. But as you guys know, we were looking at this as our key level of resistance to potentially come in and put in a lower high. What are we looking for when we get a lower high put in on the market, right? We know the golden pocket 786 is the high probability area to do it in, right? What are we anticipating after that happens? Somebody put it in the chat. What are we looking for when we reject those 786 value area highs? 786 golden pockets. We are looking for lower highs, and what it comes after that typically, you look for that breaker structure to the downside, guys. So you're looking for that continuation down. We put in that lower high here saying, hey, if we can't hold above this value area high, right, get accepted back in, we're probably going to get that move down towards that POC, which, again, similar to Bitcoin, we kind of front ran it by, let's see here. Front run it by a few bucks there. But this level does still sit down here, right? Money flow on the 4-hour, cruising to the downside like everything else. If this money flow crosses into the red, guys, we're going to be looking at that as an indication that we could potentially continue to put in lackluster retracements to the upside and put in lower highs and continue down to lower prices. So your key level of support still remains the same here. Point of control, golden pocket confluence on Solana, sitting between 217 and 212.58. So if we do, whether we come on down from here, right, or we come in and put in a lower high and then come back down, this is your big key level of support. If we came down and tapped this level, I may be inclined to look for long positions over on Solana. But again, with this money flow, guys, I'd probably be more inclined to look for shorts on the way back up, right? 4-hour money, like, remember the money flow indicates the overall trend, right? I try to find a good example here, right? Money flow, right? We get a big rip to the upside, a cool off, and then your 4-hour money flow crosses into the green. What happens after that? You get pullbacks, right? Money flow crosses over into the green, big push up, big push down, big push up, big push down. But what happens, right? That overall trend continues to the upside, and that's what you're looking at for this money flow, right? And then what happens here? You come down, get stuck into your range. Money flow crosses over into the red on the 4-hour. You go lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? So you continue that overall trend to the downside where you know there's a high probability you come back down to that value area low, and then you got to bounce back up to the POC, deviation back down below, move back up to the high. But you can just see here, if that 4-hour money flow crosses over, just to show you how that plays out in the how it's played out in the past. Even here, little 4-hour money flow crossover right here, right? Can you guys see that? Let me pull up OBS so I can make sure I'm not hiding anything. So as you can see here, right, money flow crossover into the red. Boom, you can't get back above, you get another drop down. So if that is the case, if we get that money flow crossover, could look for that continuation down. However, locally, Mrs. Someone is slamming around down there. I don't know what the heck is going on. But even if you get a local push up here, the grand scheme of things, maybe you got that green dot confirmed. I would definitely be looking for lackluster pushes up and continuations down. Doesn't mean you can't just fake out and get a big move up. But, based off the TA, that's what we'd be looking at. Now that we've already put in this lower high, let's go ahead and move this. Oh, God, I hope Mrs. Candles isn't trying to, hang something on the wall. Mrs. Candles is, 10 for 10 trying to hang stuff on the wall and just ripping sheetrock off the wall. Mrs. Candles! Can I see you, please? I summon you, Mrs. Candles! I'm kidding, guys. She has her own free will. Are you breaking something down there? I don't know what she's doing, guys, but she is slamming on the walls. But anyway, this indicator at the bottom, shout out to closer, is Market Cipher B. But yeah, these are just in plain simple analysis here, from the low to the PLC to the high, deviation above, back into the range. These are the next key levels, guys. If you lose this POC golden pocket, simply going to be looking down towards the 786 value area low, sitting at 196.28 to 190.41. Very simply put. Now, when we pull from our high, all the way from our high to our low here, yeah, these levels are pretty far away, so I'm going to go ahead and pull some local golden pockets here. This would be your first zone, very similar to Bitcoin. This is your first zone to get above, sitting between 252 and 244, right? If you can't get above this, very likely you're going to get that's where the lower high is going to come back down towards that POC. If you get above that 786, obviously you have some other local levels you can look at above. The invalidation for the continuation of this downtrend in the grand scheme of things, to see a big move up into these higher fib levels between 304 and 324. In order to get up here, guys, that doorway to higher prices is pretty far away at this point, right? It's going to be the 786 sitting at about 279.49. Get above that, that's where you could push up into this next fib zone. So technically, if you come up here, you could look for shorts as well. But just in general, locally, this is your first major level of resistance. And if we go ahead and pull this little range, actually going to pull it just over this sideways price action. Yeah, it is confluent with your local value area low as well, right? So we don't know where it's going to come in, but if we reject here, could be a lower high for moving to that POC golden pocket. Lose that, look down here to the 786 value area low. And it looks very similar to a lot of other things here. Come on, just get this dang volume profile off the chart. There we go, right? So if we come up here to the higher time frames, right? Daily money flow in the red, 2-day, red dot is printing, right? So we just have a bunch of stuff that could potentially give us that move down into that golden pocket POC, whether we get the retracement or not. But if we do, that's where I'll be looking for the rejection. All right, let's see. Mike Dutch said, oh, God, I don't even know what you guys are talking about in chat right now. Mrs. Candles is possessed. She's just smashing her head on the wall. I just go downstairs. She's smashing. There's a hole in the sheetrock. Mrs. Candles! Guys, I'm getting worried here. But anyway, let's continue on here, guys. That Solana just front ran that key level. And again, this just goes to show, guys, you don't want to ever look at the markets as no way we could go all the way back down there, right? You just want to look at it as Fibonacci levels, retracements to the downside, to the upside, whatever it is. You just want to make sure you have those levels on your chart, because it doesn't hurt to have the level on your chart. If you don't get back down there, you don't get back down there. But, if we did continue down here, we would know, hey, that's the key level of support right there. And it still is definitely a valid level to watch. All right, let's continue on here. I thought Mrs. Candles was under the desk. Yo! All right, let's continue on here. Bada boom, bada bing. Do we have a alt list here? Let's see. Shout out to Mick Chainlink. Shout out to Mick Chainlink. Said, can we do Chainlink, please? Yes, I will try to take a look at Link here. Oh, God, I just inhaled my... what's that thing in the back of your throat called? I just inhaled that. Can you check out Total 3? Do you see ETH losing second spot? Shout out to Rana. Yes, we could try to take a look at Total 3 as well. But let's see here. Let me make sure I don't miss anything in the chat. Shout out to CJ. Said, what do you think of Fu Manchu versus Market Cipher? So one of the biggest things that the one thing that I will say about that is money flow is slightly off. I don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of experience with Fu Manchu. But a lot of times I will be looking at signals on the chart, and a lot of people will be like, I don't see a red dot on the daily, or I don't see this, my money flow looks different than yours. What's the deal? and they think they're using Market Cipher, but it's really that Fu Manchu. And the money flow is slightly different. Now, it doesn't mean that it's completely useless, but it is different. So when you're looking at money, when I'm looking at money flow, this is the actual Market Cipher B. So yeah, I don't really have much of an opinion on it. I haven't really used it, but I'm sure a lot of people in the Mafia can give you a better breakdown of Fu Manchu. But yeah, that's kind of, I don't really have too much of an opinion. I just know the money flow is slightly different. I've compared them once. Shout out to Chemistry Bro said, Fu Manchu money flow is completely off. Momentum waves are fairly accurate, though. Okay, so shout out to Chemistry Bro. Money flow is completely off. So there you go. Like I said, I don't have a ton of experience with Fu Manchu, so I don't want to get bad information. But yeah, Chemistry Bro says it's way off. Let's see. Justin hailed that. I don't know why that just killed me, but it did. Shout out to Joe Mama. Let's go. Shout out to Joe Mama. Yeah, I was like, I just like inhaled it. Why does that thing get in the way sometimes? Bada boom, bada bing. What about VVV thoughts? AI for AI agents just launched today. Shout out to Wesley. I probably won't be able to pull much from the chart if it launched today. Unfortunately, I don't know I don't know anything about it, so I can't really give you my opinion on that. But let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so let's continue on here. So we took a look at Solana, took a look at Ethereum. I'll take a quick look at XRP because, guys, where did XRP dip down to? Where did it dip down to? It came right down into our level that we were looking at on Friday, guys, into the Golden Pocket Value Area High Confluence, where we had the Golden Pocket and the Value Area High because that's where Golden Pocket Value Area High confluences are. And we were looking at this saying, hey, if we pull back, guys, this Golden Pocket's not out of the question at 265. And we did wind up getting the drop. And this is why I show those lower levels, guys. Even if I'm more bullish and I think we're going up, I'm always going to give you those bearish levels in case you get the drop to the downside. Like, I don't want anyone panicking. And here we are. We get the drop to the downside directly into that Golden Pocket before getting the bounce back up. And I will say here, let me see. Do we have the local range pulled up here? I don't think we do. I'm going to have to re-pull it. Nope. 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 No. Okay, so we don't have it. So I'll just draw it. And I'll draw it with the Frankie Candles Essentials here. Because somebody did ask about that. If you guys want to check this out, just search Frankie Candles in TradingView, and it will be the first spot, or the one by Lux Algo. Make sure you're getting the one by Lux Algo. There we go, right? So let me just change these settings. So this is just a, maybe I'll make another tutorial on this as well. This is just a simple fixed range volume profile with a little bit of, with some gadgets and gizmos, right? We got divergence detection. We got the sauce cans, which do print anytime you are deviating outside of the range with those bullish confirmations, which is where I typically look for shorts. No, you cannot just long and short these sauce cans. You have to understand a little bit about the TA. It does help a lot if you're new to understand what I look for trades. But yeah, just simply here, I'll mark out this value area real quick from the high to the low here. Bada boom, bada bing. And then we go value area low, POC, value area high. So yeah, I mean, this is the range to get back inside, right? Value area low sitting at $3.06. If you get on, I'll be honest, I would probably look at this as somewhat of a zone because your value area low and your POC are very close to each other here. And if we do wind up coming into that value area low, you might just reject the POC, right? So you want to get above here and above that point of control. At that point, that's where you could potentially look for a move back up to the value area high at 328. But this is going to be key resistance here, guys. And if we pull our retracements, let me see here. Let me pull up a 4-hour. Hard to pull these. I mean, it's hard to know which one to look for if I'm being quite honest with you. Yeah, so your 786, local 786 is confluent here. Pull it to the next. Yeah. I mean, really, any of these highs is going to give you confluence in this purple zone. So that's going to be your first major level of resistance. If you can get above that POC, I would look for a potential fill of that range. But yeah, like, to be honest, like, nothing really that scary here, right? Like, this is the Golden Pocket retracement. Like, nothing really super, super alarming there. You know, I was talking to the premium Discord earlier today. I'm not a pattern trader, but, like, you know, is this some kind of a, you know, bull flag with some wonked out deviations? Maybe. I'm not a big pattern guy. Not that I wouldn't take that into consideration if it was like a clean bull flag. But yeah, this is the key level to get above, in my opinion. $3.11 could call for a move back up to the high. But if we take a look at these higher time frames, guys, money flow also coming out towards the zero line here, looking for a crossover into the red 2-day. I will say, though, these higher time frame candles don't look that bad. Like, this is a super nice candle, right? It kind of just looks like a big liquidation. If we can close that daily candle there, it's not the worst candle in the world. But it also doesn't mean that you can't just come fill that wick. But yeah, this would not be the worst candle in the world. Let's see if we is there any time yet? I can't really find anything, at least on XRP, that resembles that. Like, usually if you have those coming in a low, it could call for a reversal. So yeah, like, not a horrible daily candle, if I'm being honest. Not ugly at all. But again, with that money flow coming out, we'll have to see what happens. Locally here, 1 hour money flow crossover into the green, 16-hour green dot looking to print. Honestly, that doesn't look that bad. It's really that daily money flow. Daily money flow looks gross. 2-day red dot has been confirmed. 3-day red dot is printing with that bear div, right? There's that bearish divergence that we looked for to call for that new all-time high or test of the old all-time highs. Looking for that higher high on price action into our key Fibonacci retracement zone or extension zone, which was sitting, well, right in here, that purple box, right? So we look for price to push up into that zone to put that 3-day bear div in, and that 3-day bear div is printing. This candle does not look that gross, but that 3-day bear div kind of does. So not impossible to continue down. If we did, value area high, golden pocket, lose that, look to go to down to the 786 POC, sitting at about 245 to 240. So that's what I'd be looking at for XRP. But locally, let's see if you can get above that value area low POC at 311. See if you can get that move up to 328. And then maybe by some luck of the draw here, we can get a rip up and a breakout. I don't know if that's going to be the case. You got your 24 and 30-minute money flow coming up. I bet you we have that 8-hour green dot, though. I'll tell you that. Yeah, there's that 8-hour green dot printing. So, yeah, it's kind of similar to, I think it was Bitcoin. 30-minute and 24-minute money flow crossing into the green with that 8-hour green dot would be nice for at least some kind of continuation up. But again, the higher time frames, 4-hour red dot printing, 4-hour bear div printing, 4-day bear div, 5-day bear div, 6-day bear div, weekly bear div. Ooh, baby. Again, that doesn't mean it's going to zero, but it could definitely give you a bigger move up. There might just be some turbulence along the way. So hopefully we could just get that 30-minute money flow crossover, although I wouldn't put a high likelihood on it. Maybe that 30-minute money flow by some chance can give us, can just step on those higher time frame signals, which, as you guys know, we are looking up towards. Next key levels to the upside on XRP going to be between 352. Once you get above that, I'm looking up towards 418 to 453. But we'll see what happens here, guys. Again, money flow on the daily is really that big bearish bearish signal on the charts right now. But we'll see if we can push above that PLC, and we'll see what happens. All right, let's see. Solonzo, please, good sir. Shout out to Mike McCarthy. We actually just took a look at Solonzo. So if you scrub back a little bit, you'll see that Solana TA. Thank you for that chemistry, bro. We got the alts in place here. Thank you for that, brother. I appreciate you. We can try to take a look at Sui. Bada boom. Let me try and take a look. Let me take a quick look at. Oh, we got Link. That's the first one on the list. So let's take a look at Chainlink here. Bada boom, coming into its next support level, right? A lot of these coins just came into our lower supports that we were looking at on Friday. And we got to pull into that PLC 786. We're holding that PLC as support as of right now. Which, on a daily candle. Yeah, let's see. Let's break this down real quick. So, actually, that would probably be, yeah. So, 786 POC is what we're holding right now. That would be, where you would hope to get a big bounce. Is it going to hold? Got your 2-hour money flow on the way to the upside. 1-hour money flow is crossing over into the green. Let's check that 16-hour. No 16-hour green dot incoming, unfortunately. 12-hour green dot not really looking to print either. Doesn't mean that we can't get it eventually, but it's just not there just yet. 8-hour green dot looking to print. Yeah, I would say this, guys, like the chance that the biggest chance we have for getting a bigger move up here locally is going to be that 30 and 24-minute money flow crossover into the green with the 8-hour green dot. But other than that, taking a look at the daily, money flow coming out here, so we do have to be careful of any pushes to the upside being lackluster retracements for lower highs and continuations down. Let me get rid of this golden pocket real quick because we tapped it. This is the level you would hope to hold. But again, until we wind up getting a significant breakout of this value area high, I got to be careful here. You got to be careful here. Now, if we do break out, you obviously have your next volume profile, which I would maybe we could even pull it like that, but I would probably pull it like this. So this would be your next profile above. Value area high to value area low. Mark this out so you guys can grab these levels. Low at 2463, POC at 2559, and then your value area high at 2645. So If you wiggle out of this value area high, key resistance is 24.66 at the previous value area low. Once you get above there, that's technically where you can look for a move to the POC in the value area high. However, we got to look for where those local fib retracements are. And there it is right on that value area low. So value area low POC are definitely going to be resistance levels. Once you get above that golden pocket, I do think getting accepted into that range for at least a move into the POC is probably likely. So that's resistance level number 1. Resistance level number 2 is that POC 786. So again, if we're going to put in lower highs and continue down in a bigger way, right, on the higher time frames, those would be the levels that I would probably be looking at for those lower highs. If I pull the full from the high to the low here, yeah, technically you have the 786 complement the value area high as well. But once you get above this POC, right, if you get above the golden pocket, look to come to the 786 POC. If you're able to get above that, right, you're just basically looking at this as a volume profile, looking for the shorts at the highs. But again, we don't know if you're going to get if that money flow is going to play out and we're going to get a rejection for a breakage structure to the downside. We don't know if it's going to come in at the golden pocket or the 786. So those are going to be the two major levels that I'd be looking at as of right now for a potential rejection. So there you go. And then the bigger drop, right, if we are going to break structure to the downside, right, let's say we put the lower high in here, right, looking to crack the lows here. Next key level is going to be that value area low at 2092. Definitely in the cards if we see that lower high come in. But again, locally, 1 hour money flow crossing into the green. 30-minute, 24-minute money flow coming up with that. Oh, not even really. Yeah, 24-minute trying to come up here. So, yeah, we'll see what that 8-hour green dot gives us. If we print this 8-hour green dot, guys, typically you could even set an alert here, right? 8-hour green dot, you just set an alert to go off, and then once you see that 8-hour green dot, you go right down to the 24-minute, 30-minute money flow crossovers and see if you're getting those crossovers into the green. And if you are, could call for a continuation to the upside, right? But that's really the only thing that I can see here that would call for that continuation up. But even then, VWAPs are coming down here at resistance, so still might be choppy on the way back up. Let's see. Shout out to Todd C. Says, how is money flow measured or calculated? I'm not 100% sure how Market Cipher B's money flow is calculated, unfortunately. Shout out to Cy Renegade. Said, Tino and Frankie combo is unreal. Thank you, folks. Shout out to Cy Renegade. Let's go. Shout out to Tino from Traders Reality. Let's get it. Yeah, we gotta get a collab going with Tino for sure. Shout out to the pattern watchers out there. Let's get it, bro. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Tino is an absolute legend, an absolute GOAT, as we like to say here on the channel. But let's see. Compared to the last past bull cycles, when would you say is a good indicator that the cycle is played out? Like a longer time frame TA or certain news. Shout out to Andrew. I will say this, right? And again, I'm not saying that the top is in, but I will say this. Honestly, like when all the crazy bullish news comes out, it's typically a pretty strong top, whether it's the top of the bull market or a significant top, like we saw happen in 2021 the first time, right? You get a massive drop down, and like all these tops, like even back here in 2019, like all these tops were signaled by massive bullish news. Now. We're kind of seeing a lot of bullish news recently, right? Now, again, I'm not saying it's the top here, maybe just yet, right? But here's the thing. What I use to indicate when the cycle is played out is money flow, right? And I'll be honest here, guys. We got that weekly red dot, that weekly VWAP flop. You guys know last week we were looking at the green dot being a pretty good sign, and then it just got swallowed up by this red dot, and that is worth looking at, right? Because typically – in our cycles, right, typically what I like to look for to buy in at the bottom and try to take profit at the top is we look for that weekly money flow, guys. You don't want to lose track of this. You're going to hear people saying Bitcoin to $1 million, Bitcoin to 500K, and you're going to see this on pretty, like, what you would hope would be reliable places, right? You're going to hear this, people talking on the news, right? I think in 2021, I want to say this, I feel like I feel like they scrubbed this from the internet, but I'm almost positive I remember reading an article about JP Morgan saying that Bitcoin was going to 500K that cycle. And that was like very close to the top, right? We didn't even get to 100K, right? So you're hearing this from like on the news, right? This is usually a pretty good signal when Bitcoin starts to get into the mainstream media, which obviously it has been. Typically time to start paying attention, right? But weekly money flow in the red, bottom of the bear market, right? Weekly, and now this is a little bit harder, right? Because weekly money flow comes into the green right here. You don't necessarily want to take profit right away, so it's a little harder on the way back up. Unless you're DCAing out on the way up, which I do recommend. But really, weekly money flow in the red, bottom of the bear market, right? We used that this cycle as well, and it played out perfectly. Weekly money flow in the red, bottom of the bear market, right? So, with the bull markets, right, it is a little bit harder, right? Because you don't want to, once you get money flow in the red here, even if you started DCAing, as you got this first drop down, you got a pretty good entry point. But you don't necessarily want to do that in the bull market, right? If you just start taking profit here, right, you're like missing out on a ton of gains. So it's a little harder to say. But just to front run this, when we do, and we will eventually go back into another bear market, right? Super cycle, up forever, right? They say that every time. Just remember. But that money flow coming out on the weekly would be a pretty alarming sign, in my opinion. But you got to be careful because, like, you get fake outs, right? Like this one came all the way down, back up into the green, right? Start coming down, back into the green. That would be kind of like a longer-term signal. This weekly money flow is goated for sniping the bottom of the bear markets, right? Because you're just DCAing in. Wait for the money flow to cross into the red. Wait for that first drop down, and then that's typically where I would start dollar cost averaging in, right? And then once that money flow starts to get back in the green, probably want to sit on your hands and let things fly. And that has worked out pretty well here on this channel. So we'll keep looking at that same thing until it doesn't work anymore. What do you think about the daily candle close on Biddy? Shout out to Fabian. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this. Bada boom's come out of the daily. This is not like the ugliest candle in the world, right? Nice long wick on the bottom here. Not the most bearish candle I've ever seen. But again, I would be, again, even if we continue up here, be very careful around these key levels of resistance. If we get back above this value area low, you could easily see a continuation up, but you gotta be careful around these key resistance levels. Right? You wind up coming up. You could just be putting in lower highs, right? Because again, and that's not just based off me like feeling bearish, right? Like it's based off money flow, right? Money flow in the daily coming into the red, looking to cross over into the red potentially. Unless we really just start heating out of here, and that was the shakeout, it would be very kind of, and there we go, daily close. So yeah, not an ugly candle, but I will say, sometimes, like people like to say, where it wicks, it sticks, right? So sometimes you do like to fill those wicks, but again, it's not always a guarantee, right? That's why I don't really love that, right? Because it's like, yeah, where it wicks, it sticks, but like only sometimes. But if this money flow continues into the red, right? 16 hour not looking as bad with money flow. Neither is the 12 hour. 10 hour though, money flow crossover into the red. So unless this is a fake out back into the green, you have to be careful of these lower highs and continuations down. Very simply put. But if you scrub back to the beginning of the stream, we go into the Bitcoin TA in detail. So let's go ahead and take a look at AVAX, our next one on the list here. Let's come on over to crypto because that's what we're doing here. This is a crypto channel, guys. Let's see. Let's see. We should make an indicator like that for TradingView chemistry, bro. I don't know exactly what the once all the general financial YouTubers all switch over to become crypto YouTubers again, and are being sponsored by exchanges, then it's near the top again. Yeah, shout out to chemistry, bro. It is crazy. It is crazy. Like, where were these people during the bear market? Yeah, that's a pretty good, pretty good indication for sure. Yeah, shout out to Gordon. Said 90% of the market right now is liquidity sweeps and liquidation plays. Yep, let's go, baby. Shout out to the SFPs. But yeah, let's continue on here on AVAX. Let's break it down here real quick. I believe this is our chart. Oh, where's our? Let's do our daily AVAX chart hunt here. I'm actually I'll just draw that profile on this chart, right? So, yeah, we got the rip up here, tested that value area low, got the big rejection. Now, again, from a high time frame standpoint here, guys, to be quite honest with you, right, from the low to the high, we are holding that 786 retracement. Now, this doesn't guarantee, right? This does not guarantee that you're definitely going to get a break of structure to the upside. But if you look at this, whoops, let's pull up the monthly chart here, right? If we look at this from a high time frame perspective, come on, just a market structure perspective here. You have your bullish change of character, price moves up. At that point, you're looking for lackluster retracements to the downside for potential higher lows for continuations up. And then the anticipation at that point is to eventually come up and break structure to the upside. Now, Where are you looking for that higher low to come in at? You're looking for it to come in either at the golden pocket or the 786. We've gotten that full retest of the 786, which technically could make, from a trend perspective, the higher probability to come up here and break structure to the upside. Now, we can't ignore everything else on the lower time frames, but just to show here, I know like AVAX ripped and then it got a big dip, but this is from the high time frame perspective, this is not really anything that crazy, right? We held the 786, we came back up, and now we're getting another pullback. So just to put that in context for you guys, if you're freaking out there holding AVAX, again, not that means that you should hold it still, who knows. But from a market structure perspective, nothing really that crazy has happened. Just holding that 786, which is, not that intense, right? Now, if we pull our local profiles here, again, we looked at this on Friday. It's like kind of hard to pull these profiles now, but I will pull this right here from the high to the low. Boom. Value area low, POC, value area high, right? So at this point, right, you got above the low, or got above the low, flipped it to support, up to the POC, hold the low again, back to the POC, flip the POC, up to the value area high, deviation above the high, and then what happens? You get your push down below the low, back into the POC, you go for the high one more time, back to the POC, and right now we are starting to potentially get stuck underneath that POC, which would potentially give us the opportunity to get that move back down towards that value area low at 31.19. So this is a key level of support if we get that continuation down, and if we pull up Market Cipher here, try to get a little context here. Yeah, you have some slight bullish divergences here. 8-hour bull div also looking to print. Let's check that 30-minute. Yeah, 30-minute money flow not quite coming up yet. 24-minute money flow is, though. So, I would love to see, did we have any significant support levels down here? Let's check that daily. Yeah, we did come into a daily naked point of control. Right, so if I just label that, although it is tapped at this point, right? So if I just label that, if we were looking at this, let's take a look at the weekly real quick. Yeah, no, you did not have a weekly naked point of control there. You have a current naked point of control on the weekly there, but that does not matter. So yeah, you did come down here. You did put in, or you are potentially looking to put in some bullish divergences here into that naked point of control. Now again, money flow still in the red here, so I would be careful with moves to the upside. Doesn't mean you can't come up locally, but you do technically have some lower lows on your price action into that key level of support, higher lows on your momentum waves, 4-hour bullish divergence. What's that 15-minute money flow? Oh, 15-minute money flow looking to cross over into the green here. Let's see. Could you get a push back up towards this level here at 35.96? What is that, 4%? Could you do it? 15-minute money flow crossing over into the green. You got your 4-hour bull div potentially looking at, or actually printing here into a daily naked point of control. Not a hashtag, not a signal, but wouldn't be impossible, right? Pretty good risk to reward here as well. Even down here, not horrible risk to reward. Could look for, if you hold that and that bull div winds up playing out, could potentially get the push up here, but I wouldn't be surprised if you see turbulence, right? Because this VWAP's kind of flattened. All it takes is one more red dot to kind of pull back and then go. But this wouldn't be the worst risk to reward, in my opinion. You're a little overbought here on the higher time frames. Let's see here. Let's pull up that visible range of volume profile real quick. Yeah, if you get above this node, yeah, really, if we zoom out a bit here, come up to like the 15-minute. Take a look at what the volume looks like here. Come on, volume. No? Is that updated? Come on. Okay, yeah, so you get above this node, not the worst probability of, you do have this gap here. So, if you get above this node, I would look for at least a push up into about 34.79. And then if you can continue up here, let's pull this local volume profile real quick. Let me actually zoom out a bit, get an idea of where this profile is sitting in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, POC, yeah, your major POC is sitting up here. So, yeah, from a 4-hour time frame, even if you were looking for this, Again, I'm not guaranteeing it comes up to the value area high. Whoops. And again, I'm not even guaranteeing this plays out, right? I'm not saying, but yeah, I mean, you do have, this is the value area low at $35 is key resistance, right? It's also the start of your massive shelf of volume here. So if you do continue up based off what we just looked at on Market Cipher B, right? 15-minute money flow crossover into the green could give you the anticipation, especially with the 4-hour green dot printing, right? In all of its glory with the bull div here. The idea is that you could continue your trend to the upside, get above that value area low, look for a push up into that POC. And again, that would be about a 6% move to the bigger POC, right? So again, I'm not guaranteeing that that is the case, but let's see, pull this fib from the high to the low. So yeah, I mean, this would be key resistance. Got your POC 786. And you got your golden pocket sitting at 36 cents. $36, I'm sorry. So yeah, something like this, I mean, wouldn't be the worst risk to reward in my own personal opinion, depending on how conservative you are. But yeah, I mean, you got the 4-hour bull divs. And again, based off a higher time frame, I would be, money flow crossover into the red, right? So this is kind of where the bullish bearish thing comes in, right? I'd be bearish on the daily, but for a local retracement back to the upside to maybe test some of these retracement levels might not be impossible for a nice little scalp to the upside. Not a trade signal. I'm not telling anybody to take this trade, but this is how I look at the market. So yeah, we'll see here. 15-minute money flow crossover. Maybe we could pull up some liquidity here on AVAX as well. Let's see here. Oh, Bitcoin pumping too a bit. Bitcoin pumping too. Kinda. Not too far away from where we last looked at it. So let's see. Let's see if we pump into those higher levels here. Let me see something on AVAX. See if we can pull up some liquidity on AVAX here real quick. Boom. Let's go back to AVAX. Let's see here. Gonna have to lighten up that. Yeah, liquidity sitting at about 36, 37. Yeah, I mean, you do have liquidity. Oh, man. You cleared a bunch of liquidity on this rip here. Let's see. Quick look at the... Let's see, bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, 37. So yeah, just to pull this up a bit, just to show where some of that liquidity is sitting here on AVAX. So yeah, you do have a little bit of liquidity sitting at about $35, right? Which is kind of that almost $35 that could lead you into that $35 target, and then you do have bunch of 36.13 and above. You do have a bunch of liquidity. These are high leverage liquidations as well. So yeah, like maybe 34.86, 34.86. Yeah, which basically brings you right up into that value area low. Right, so that wouldn't be in my opinion, right? If I were to take this, not that I am taking it, right? But if I were to take it, that would be a nice TP. And then get above that low, look to push into the golden pocket 786, which would eventually get you into the accepted into this value area. So that's kind of something I would look at, right? Again, not saying I took taking the trade, but yeah, we'll see. Especially Bitcoin pushing up as well. Oh, come on. Don't just swing. Don't just SFP this value area low and dump. Don't do it, Bitcoin. Don't do it. Don't make me go get coffee so you pump. Don't make me do it. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Highly Trained, said still long from the premium Discord. I don't think I have that long set up on the chart anymore. But yeah, we were, I'm not going to break down the whole thing, but yeah, we were looking for a potential move. Break it down a little bit, right? Looking for a little bit of a move. Like I said, when I was breaking down the trade that I took earlier, the short that I took down here, looking for a higher low to come in on that golden pocket 786 retracement. Where is it? Right here. Looking for that golden pocket 786, right? And we look for a potential bounce here into that value area high into this these next key levels above. So shout out to Highly Trained, bro. You're probably massively in profit from that what we were looking at there on the live stream. Let's go. Peak. We could take a look at Peak, but real quick, I wanted to get rid of this. I want to go through this list here, guys. Take a look at Arrow. Let me go ahead and check out the. All right, let's take a quick look at Aerodrome. Yeah, Aerodrome looking to pump as well here potentially. 4-hour green dot confirmed. 8-hour green dot confirmed here now. 30-minute. Not crossing into the green. 24-minute. Looking a little better here for a potential continuation up at the 24-minute money flow. Crossing into the green with the 8-hour green dot. Confirmed. 12-hour green dot. Printing with our 45-minute money flow crossover. Oh, come on, baby. If we can get that 45-minute money flow crossover with that 12-hour green dot, I would look for a continuation up on Arrow. Yeah, we didn't make it down to the 786, though. That is kind of a little bit suspicious, in my opinion. Could mean that we want to come down and physically tap that level. Kind of hard to say here. You do have bullish divergences. I would have loved that into the 786, but it doesn't look like that's the case. Yeah, you do have them, though. Same thing on AVAX, right? Like, you get the 4-hour bull divs. Yeah, I mean, key levels here on Arrow. Again, money flow. Yeah, daily bull div here on Arrow. Again, money flow coming out, right? So you have to keep that in mind for the continuation not being likely. But, excuse me, bull div with an SFP of the low here. Right? Even if you just get, let me get rid of this golden pocket real quick. Even if you just get a push into this golden pocket, it's a 13% move. Not too shabby for a scalp. Again, you would have to find a... Yeah, let me see here. 24-minute looking across. So, yeah, if you get that 24-minute money flow crossover, 15-minute money flow just crossed into the green. It was not on a 4-hour green dot, but... So I would look for the 24-minute money flow crossover for a potential continuation into the value area low, sitting at about $1.11. Again, not saying this is... I'm just using this as context, just so you guys have an idea of where we're looking for it to go. Doesn't mean enter a trade. But... Yeah, 16-hour green dot also printing. 1-hour money flow coming up as well. So, yeah, 1 hour and this 16 and 12-hour green dots printing with the 45-minute and 1-hour money flow crossing into the green. That would be what I would look for the continuation up. The 24-minute money flow crossover into the green would probably front-run that signal. But this does look like it could head in the right direction. But, again, I would definitely be a bit careful here for a potential lackluster push up for potential lower highs and continuations down based off the higher time frame money flow, like the daily, like the 2-day. This is not necessarily the most bearish situation. But if you can get that 2-day green dot, might be able to get a nice little ebb or flow to the upside before continuing back down. Let's pull from the high to the low here. So you do have nice POC golden pocket confluence. So this would be your first major level of resistance. Obviously, value area low is going to be key as well. But if you are able... right? Getting those bullish divergences. If it does continue up here, if you don't get the rejection at that value area low, look for a push into the POC golden pocket. And then this is a huge area to be very careful around. I would definitely be taking a lot of profit at this zone. Sitting at between about $1.18 and about $1.22. So that's what I'd be looking at for the most part on Aerodrome locally and on the higher time frames. Let's check back in on AVAX real quick. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? God, I got to start remember. There we are. So let's see here. Let's come down to a lower time frame. Red dot printing. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, listen, guys, we don't have a lot of time left, but if we get the signals here, I might take that trade live. Might take it live. Let's see. Okay. Sold and rebought to double up on the way up. Hey, shout out to Sweet Bid McGee. Shout out to you, man. Dangerous game to play. Dangerous game to play, but it seems like you pulled it off. So let's go. Shout out to you, man. Let's see. Okay, so let's continue on here. We took a look at Arrow. Let's take a quick look at Ondo. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, Ondo going to 0. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Just for some context here, we got our push to the upside into our golden pocket, broke the golden pocket, but rejected that 786. So for the most part, right, once you reject that 786, you would be anticipating a potential break of structure to the downside, which would bring you below this value area low at $1.26. Green dot on the 4-5 hour. Green dot confirmed on the yeah, like it's just the money flow here, guys. Again, like I would say shorter term, not impossible to get pushes up, but I would be very, very careful around those retracement levels. And because we already rejected these, like we looked at the same thing here, right? This is the level to get above in order to call for higher prices pushing into this value area low. What happened? We know not only is that the doorway to higher prices, but also the last major key level of resistance for a potential rejection. What happens? We push into this level, we get the rejection. So it's the same thing moving forward here, right? So those are already tapped. So let's pull our next Fibonacci retracements, right? From this high to the low gives you pretty good confluence on the value area high. So if we do wind up pushing up here to the value area high golden pocket, we have to be careful just like we did up here, right? Get a push up here, break the POC, push up into the value area high golden pocket sitting at about $1.43 to $1.41. That is going to be that key zone where we could potentially put in the lower high and continue this trend to the downside. So that is key level number 1. If you get above that, I'd be looking at the 786 at about $1.47. Right about hither. So those are the next key levels. Just like we looked at them up here, these are the same key levels on the way to the on the way back to the upside. Now, money flow coming in, into the red on the 4-hour. Daily money flow also trending to the downside. Again, not the best sign here. 2-day red dot is not printing just yet, but could potentially look to print soon. 3-day red dot is printing. Money flow in the green, though, flying to the upside, which is very interesting. That is super, super mixed signal there. But yeah, for the most part, you know, same signals I'd be looking at on all the other altcoins, right? 8-hour green dot prints. Money flow kind of coming up there, not too shabby. 8-hour green dot prints. I'm looking at the 24-minute money flow, which is cruising to the upside here. And then that 30-minute money flow as well. If that 30-minute can creep up as well, get above that POC, I'd be looking for that move up into that value area high, $1.41. Between the value area high at $1.40 or $1.41 into the golden pocket at about $1.43. Break above that, $1.47 at the 786. Break above that, maybe we can get a bigger move up. All right, let's see. Yeah, let's take a look at Trump coin real quick. Obviously, we know this thing got absolutely wrecked. Where's our chart here? And guys, yeah, can't make it up. I actually haven't been looking at this lately, or today at least. But look at this, guys. What did we look for on Trump coin on Friday? This is why you do not want to miss these live streams, guys. You don't want to miss them. I'm telling you, we looked for the rejection at the POC. We lost the range where we knew we had our next key levels of resistance, value area high, and we actually lost this on the live stream, I believe, on Friday, right? We were coming on down here, 4:30, 5:30, right? We were live as we were playing with this value area high. We knew if you lost this value area high or got accepted back into this range, you'd look to go down to that POC. You got the bounce. You deviate above the high. What does price do, guys? Even on a meme coin like Trump, bing, bong, can't get back above the high. You get accepted back into your range. Price goes right to the POC. You lose the POC. You go to the low. And now we have gotten back above that POC for a potential rotation of that value area to the high at about 29.58. So we don't mess around with these key levels, guys. Next level to the upside, 29.59. Full rotation of that. And look at the tap on that dang value area low. Absolutely insane. Box is not as accurate just because it gets sloppy trying to draw these boxes. But there you go. Right into that value area low, into the POC, little turbulence, get above it, flip it to support. Now you're looking to go up to that value area high. So hopefully we can make it up there. Money flow crossing over into the green on the 30-minute. Do we have 8-hour information yet? We don't. We can't tell if we're printing a green dot here on the 8-hour. Unfortunately, because we just don't have the price action or the price history. But beautiful, beautiful volume profile right there. Absolutely textbook. Let's see. Holding both as a gamble play. Shout out to Jets. I assume you mean Trump coin somewhere in there. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Trump to 100, my meme coin bet for the market. Yo, shout out to Kembro. I mean, hey, I don't think it's a bet. I don't think it's that bad of a bet, to be honest with you. I mean, it's got the narrative. It's got the narrative here. Pro crypto president has a meme coin. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. Am I still holding peak? Yes, I am still holding peak. Let's take a look here at peak. Let me just pull up our actual KuCoin chart. Okay, so on peak here, real quick. I am still holding peak. I DCA'd into peak on the pre-sale dump here, right? Dollar cost average, dollar cost average, dollar cost average. I think I stopped my DCA like right here. But yeah, we came down to our next key levels. So let's get rid of that local fib, right? So we came down to the low, back to the high, back to the low, lost the range, came down to our 2 high volume nodes here. This was kind of the last one. Let's check here. 4 hour. Let's see. Yeah. Slight 8 hour bull div into that high volume node. Let me pull up the VPVR real quick. Yeah, so we have that high volume node sitting here. So that is what we're bouncing off of. We technically do have a little bit of an 8 hour bull div into that key level. Let's check that 30 minute. 30 minute trying to come up. 24 minute tried to come up. Cross back over into the red. Let's check the 4 hour. Nope. 8 hour. Yeah, you could look for your 12 and 16 hour bullish divergences. Once those green dots print, I'd be all eyes on the 45 minute and the 1 hour money flow, which are getting rejected at the 0 lines here. But if those can cross into the green with those 12 hour and 16 hour green dots printing, that's your best bet to get another push up. And then your next key level, once you get above this high volume node, your next major key level is going to be the value area low at about 40 cents. Flip that to support. Look for a push into the POC at 44. Flip that. Look for a push up into 46 cents at the value area high. So, yeah. Really got to see, I mean, really the key levels here, guys, or the key signals to watch are the 24 and 30-minute money flow crossovers into the green with the 8 hour green dot, right? Above that, you could look for the 12 and 16 hour green dots with your 45-minute and 1 hour money flow crossovers into the green. If you could get those to happen, that's your best bet of a continuation to the upside. But you gotta be careful with these high time frame money flow crossovers to anticipate just one more time the lackluster pushes to the upside to put in lower highs and continue back down. Checking out Bitcoin here. Bitcoin. Let's take a look here. Let me zoom out a bit. Just do one more last check-in on good old Bitcoin. Let me unhide some of this TA here. Yeah, so we're pulling into, let me get rid of the VPVR. So there we go. Pushing into that golden pocket. Yeah, pushing into that golden pocket with some bearish divergences. I mean, listen, your thought process here is very simple. Thought process here on Bitcoin is very simple. We have now come into that golden pocket finally. We SFP'd the highs here for a drop down, but we never hit that golden pocket. We've now SFP'd this high again, or we didn't SFP the, actually might have got it. Yeah, we got it on the 30-minute. SFP of the highs here. Yeah, we had liquidity sitting above. I think I actually showed it at the beginning of the stream. Liquidity sitting above, SFP into that golden pocket. Bearish divergences here on the 12-minute. Bearish divergences potentially looking to print on the 15-minute. Maybe we can get a drop down here slightly. But again, like the idea is if you don't actually just full-on dump from here, if you continue the uptrend, like key levels, flip that golden pocket, look for the 786, flip that 786, look for the push into the POC value, golden pocket confluence, right? So if we don't dump from here, which again, there are some local signals for a pullback, but if we are able to get above that golden pocket, look for that push into the 786, back into that POC, right? Just understand, it's a game of volume profiles, guys. And just like this volume profile helped us find a ton of killer trades last week, it could potentially give us the opportunity to look. And I cannot believe that this played out again to the value area low. On the way back up, guys, you are simply looking at this as a key level to the upside. Flip that to support. Get accepted back into the range. 786 and POC would be the next area to look for price to go. And then I would look for more confirmations up here based off that high time frame money flow for a potential lower high and a continuation back down to lower prices. But we'll see what happens here, guys. The volatility is going to be crazy this week as we have FOMC. So things could potentially get very, very crazy. So please, for the love of God, be very careful out there. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Derelict in the chat. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. Let's see. Caught PTC entry at 99K. Let's go. Shout out to Jets. Bada boom, bada bing. But yeah, guys, that is what we're looking at on Bitcoin. I'm starting to lose my voice here. But maybe, just maybe, I got in Trump at $4, so still up pretty huge. Anyway, I took it to the premium Discord at $4 to $5. Chemistry, bro. We're going to have to give you a channel in the Discord, bro. Shout out to Chemistry, bro. Dropping the sauce in the premium is out as well for Trump coin. Let's get it. But guys, That is all the time we got for today's live stream. I may play that little live trade recap here, that little 2-minute short here at the end of the stream. Maybe we'll show it. But yeah, with all that being said, guys, that's all the time we got. Look for those potential lower highs to come in on the market. Hopefully we can fake out that high time frame money flow. But as of right now, we have to take those signals seriously as they are popping up on the chart. We don't know if we're going to get that continuation down, but daily says we might get it. Those bearish divergences on the higher time frame say we might get it, but it doesn't mean we can't scalp to the upside. And shout out to anyone in the premium that took that position. I actually didn't wind up taking it. I caught a short, but I didn't take that long position live. But shout out to anyone in the premium that took it. But with all that being said, shout out to Cuz I Can Bump It, or Kuzi Can, as I like to call him. All set. Crypto Crabman, Eugene Sky, Jesse. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Shout out to all the mods. Kembro, Tyler Durden, Rob the Crypto Snob. Crypto Billy, Crypto Anon. You guys know who they are. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. And I will see you tomorrow, probably for some crazy price action. That's all the time I got for today's live stream. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Coach, what's next for me, Joe? I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working, I'm up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Should we show it? Should we show it? I think maybe we should. Drop some candles in the chat if you want to see this video, guys. I'm probably just going to play it, actually. All right. I don't know how the audio is on this. It might be, like, absolutely deafening. But, yeah, good luck, guys. If you blow out your eardrums, not responsible. Hashtag not liable. But let me go ahead and hide my face here and hide the overlay. And hopefully you guys can still see me. And I'll just go ahead and play this real quick. Candles in the chat, baby. But guys, this is literally like almost the same situation as the first one that I played. We will release these as YouTube shorts. We're just testing out this new content. Let me know if you guys like it. Drop the candles in the chat if you want more like this. Here we go. All right, guys, gonna go short on Bitcoin here. I just entered. Oh my God, it's already going. My bias is actually for a continuation up, but I'm gonna see if I can scalp this little move to the downside. Already starting to play out here, up $160, $182. We're gonna see if we could drop this down to the lows here at about $100,000. All right, I'm gonna go make some coffee. Watch this trade for me, guys. Come on, Golden Pocket. All right, she's pushing down. We got the fresh black coffee here. God, guys, I'm going to start getting coffee more often. Looks like Bitcoin likes to move when I go get the coffee. Pushing towards that golden pocket. Let's get it. Up 326 now. I'm going to drop that stop loss to break even. Come on, you know you want to do it. You're so close. Oh, come on. Don't bounce now. And there it is. That's how you do it right there, guys. $500 right there, guys. I'm going to go ahead and move my stop loss into profit here just to guarantee that winning trade. And we'll see if we can make it down here to that 786. Come on, Bitcoin. Let's go. Push it. Do it for a Monday, baby. Give us that 786. Come on, baby. Give me that 786. We're going to push that stop loss more into profit here. Come on, Bitcoin. You could do it. Come on. Push it. There we go, baby. Let's go. Quick $800. Beautiful tap of that 786, baby. I'm going to move that stop loss. If we turn around here, we'll grab some extra gains. If not, we'll stop out in profit. Come on, Bitcoin. Do something. All right. Looks like she wants to give us a little bit more here. Up about 928 now on the trade. All right, guys, I'm going to lock that in for a quick $750 on that quick little scalp to the downside over on Blowfin. $750 a day keeps that day job away. If you guys want to learn how I trade, check out our YouTube channel. So there you go, guys. Funny story. I am muted. Yes, I see that. But yeah, TRD said, I saw this. This is a rerun. Shout out to TRD. Actually, this is a different trade. It is just so similar to the first trade that I showed on Friday. These are two separate videos, two separate trades, which is hilarious. Because they played out very similarly, right? And especially me going to get coffee. Every time I go to get coffee, like even the last one, I'm going to go get coffee. As I'm getting coffee, the pushes right down into that golden pocket. Almost exactly how it happened here. But just to drop some sauce, guys, you see us. We take that profit. We move our stop loss to break even, protecting those gains along the way. And if you could get disciplined with that, guys, it's not super, super difficult. It does not have to be complicated to make money trading. Especially you don't even need $750 or $800 or whatever it winds up being. That was actually a half position. I wanted it to be a $100,000 position, but I only entered $50K for whatever reason. But there you go, guys. Live in the flesh there. I was kind of hoping I could take a trade live here for you guys to do it actually live. But, I can't take the trades if the setups aren't there. That's why I've been recording some of the scalp positions I take. But if you guys like that, drop some ones in the chat. Drop some candles in the chat. Let me know if you guys want to see more of that. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for today's live stream. We'll see if we can make another one of those videos tomorrow, or maybe I'll finally get a loss there. But yeah, with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for today's live stream. I'll see you tomorrow, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll.